Hello world, this is Hexacat and welcome to a new type of video for a change. So, as you probably know, Splatoon Raiders got a new trailer that dropped recently, and there are some details about it that some people may have missed, so I would like to go over some of them. So, I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. The first thing I would like to talk about is the new speak option we see in the first panel of the customization options. I believe this is here because in Splatoon 3's customization menu, it's very hard to tell Inkling boy and girl apart from each other. So you can now just press Y and hear their voices and get a better idea on which one is which. And this is handy because I personally cannot tell the difference between these two images. So, huge plus. If you didn't know already, some of the written language in Splatoon is actually translatable. However, I do not recognize the characters being used on the helmet here, so I'm unsure if it's part of an actual script. It might be serif script, but we'll just have to wait and see. Here, we see the player walking away from a raft. Now, I believe this raft is actually how we enter the levels, because there's actual lore for why we can't super jump in Salmonid territory. However, there is a more fun way we could potentially enter the levels, as we'll see later. Okay, so here we have the crab tank mech suit thing. I guess the mechanic found this and decided to fix this up. But yeah, all three members of Deep Cut can ride this, even if they're squashed in a little bit. Right, let's now talk about the Salmonids we see here. As you can see, they are clearly now red for some reason. This happens in the real world when they go to lay their eggs. So maybe this is the origin point of a bunch of Salmonids? I also think it's worth mentioning that you can see this white stuff on their fins here. I believe this is either a bunch of crystallized salt, or it could be some sort of infection. But whatever it is, it seems to get worse throughout the trailer, as you'll see later. But first I'd like to take a look at some of these new Salmonids. To start with, we have this, uh, bird? I don't know, it's holding a knife and fork, as you can probably see, and it also has this apron thing. Oh, also, that salt that I was talking about earlier, you can actually see it on some of the terrain here. So it's not just the salmonids that are having an issue with this, or it's just normal salt that's just crystallized on the rocks. I don't know, it could be either. Now this guy, he's kind of cute. However, he is a threat. He acts as like a sideways Moors, so be careful out there. Oh, also when I was making this video, I extracted this frame. It was I just couldn't stop laughing at it. I don't know why. Um, but yeah, moving on. So here we see a different version of the Stinger enemy from Salmon Run, and we also see this sort of manhole cover. If I unpause the footage here, we can see that a bunch of salmonids come flying out of it, and we also see a new version of the Scrapper. So I believe that this thing will be the spawn point of the salmonids as well as the water, or even instead of. There's also this crystal thing here, but we'll get to that in a second. With this bit of gameplay, I would like to showcase the fact that you can actually jump off of your crab tank mech suit, as you can see here, but it can also get launched away, as you'll see here. So you don't want to get surrounded. But also, if I could pause on this map real quick, if you look closely, you can see the salmonids that inhabit the islands. So Taigoro Island has a bunch of normal salmonids, and Erp Island seems to have those bird salmonids and also those sideways moors. So with the player hovering over this treasure chest here, you would assume that this would be a level, but as far as I can tell, there doesn't seem to be a prompt to select this level. So maybe we actually just travel between these islands sort of sandbox open world style. I'm not sure. Also, looking on the map, you can see that this island is inhabited by some scrappers, stingers, and we also get a glimpse of what the big shot will look like. There's also normal salmonids here as well. Okay, so here we have the mech suit thing seemingly scanning for treasure, as we can see by this text. We also get a good look at the HUD, so we have this power egg measurement thing, some bar with an unknown value. I think this is ink usage for your utility things. XP bar, lives, pause button, some random icon, and if I move my avatar out of the way, we can see this counter for some sort of crystal, which is coming up. No pun intended. So here in this frame, it's kind of bad quality, but we can see here the fish stick and a salmon lid. So here, Shiver is breaking open one of the crystals and reveals some of those crystal shards we saw earlier, something resembling a golden egg, and also a treasure chest. Something that I've not seen anyone talk about, however, is the fact that the golden eggs seem to contain shark eggs, or mermaid purses as they're sometimes called. So here we see the chest opening up, which, by the way, also happens to be covered in salt. But yeah, it opens up and reveals this two-fisted salmonid statue. It seems to be worth quite a bit of money. I don't think this money's ever referenced in the trailer again, but it seems like it has this trait called mid-air jump, which, well, we'll see what this is for later. So next we'll see our Inkling walk over to the Tinker workshop thing here, and we can see them craft the Splatchit gadget. So here we can see what is required to actually build it. So we need 500 spiralite shards and 5 scrapper glass windows. So I believe that we'll be getting different resources from the boss salmonids. For example, the pots from the stingers, and we'll be using those to craft all sorts of things, such as the gadgets, and maybe even upgrades for ourselves. So now we see a bunch of gadgets in action. We see the Splatcher, which seems to be some sort of like mini Splatana. We see this new gadget, which seems to be spiraling some sort of ink ball thing, and that does damage. We've got this turret here, which automatically locks onto this steel head here. Oh, here we can see Big Man actually working on our crab mech here. So maybe we can apply upgrades to this. I'm not sure. This is what this frame makes me think of, but yeah. Oh, and watch this. Woof. Okay, but seriously, I think this might be the other way we could enter the levels. If not, I think this way with Fried riding her eels. But yeah, I guess I just want to get yeeted by that giant crane, I guess. So here we get a good look at the equip screen for our Inkling. We can see that there seems to be a sort of repaired mini Splatling here, so I guess we'll be repairing weapons we find. We can see our gadgets, which we can apply on L and R, so I guess no sub-weapon. Relic powers is where that statue comes in. We'll be able to apply up to 5. Looks like we'll have to unlock slots though. We can equip a different tank, which I guess lets us equip different gadgets, as you can see in the top left corner here. And we can also choose our bot buddy, so choose from Big Man, Shiver, and Fry. Styles, looks like we can customize what we're wearing. So it looks like we won't have abilities tied to our gear anymore. Something to do with amiibo and also settings. And if I move my guy out the way, we can see that it seems that we'll be able to have presets for our gadgets and tanks and relic powers. Also, if I unpause here, it looks like we'll be able to mess around with our gadgets a bit. And here's what it looks like. So I think when you press the Tinker button, this menu will appear, and it looks like we'll be able to apply a bunch of different modifiers that we probably find around the map and put them on our gadgets. So as you can see, we have this vertical slash, which basically turns our horizontal slashes into vertical slashes, and it takes up 4 slots. So you can see this green bar. I think that's like our inventory slots, but for our gadgets, we can't fill it up past 16 for the splatchit, and each modifier has a number, and that modifier will take up that many slots. Other modifiers we have here is slash area up. This is probably increasing your range or the size of your slash attack. Overpowered attack, which is probably increasing the base damage. Emergency damage up, which is probably increasing your damage when you're low health. Explosive steps, I have no idea what that means. I guess we leave an explosion behind when we do our slash attack. And then we have charge in damage. I guess we have like a normal attack and a slash attack, similar to Spartana's. So I guess that's increasing our slash damage up. Also, now that my guy's out of the way, we can also see the percentages of what our modifiers will do. Also, the slash area up buffs seem to have this spiral icon. I guess this means we can re-roll them, but I'm not sure. So final bit of gameplay, we see the vertical slash in action, take out this steelhead, we see this dynamo, take out all these salmonids, we see Big Man being ridden on by the mechanic, and we also see Shiver using Master Mega here. So I think that all characters will have this special move, and also we can see that the salmonids are just covered in this salt now, and you can even see it a bit more on the walls. But yeah, compare it to this image, it has certainly gotten worse at this point. So I guess as we go on and on in this story mode, we will have to deal with this salt a bit more. Uh-oh. And then we see this guy. I think we can all agree that this is going to be some sort of boss. I don't think this is going to be the main antagonist of the game. That's probably going to be some sort of giant salt golem or something. I'm not sure, but this looks like it's going to be a fun boss. But yeah, I think that's the trailer. One thing that wasn't in it though was the fact that there will be online and local wireless play. With it, you can play with up to 3 friends, so you can all play together. But yeah, so judging from what we've seen so far, I think this is going to be some sort of roguelite, kind of like side order. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this coming out on July 23rd. I'm sure I'll make quite a load of videos on it when it comes out. Also, should we come up with a silly name for this guy? I think we should. But yeah, that's it for this analysis video. There were some things I didn't cover. Feel free to comment what those were if you found some yourself. I'll even link the trailer in the description for you to check out for yourself. This is a bit different from what I normally do. I normally just do gaming, but if you enjoy this type of video, I guess like the video if you would like to see me do more of this type of content. But anyways, that'll be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video I do. Take care.